We're live!
Oh my god!
It's electrifying!
What's up, everyone? I'm the Kaiju no Kami from the Toku Animation News Network with
Curlica Kane!
and
Silver Quill.
Oh my
and
For more!
yep, we are enjoying some nice dessert that we decided to go get because watching Kamen Rider Gavv made us hungry for snacks.
Well, actually, I wanted regular food before snacks. But
Well, we did get dinner too, but we have watched episodes 17 to 21, which introduced a brand new rider who is putting everyone through hell.
Although, do we let tokusatsu dictate too much of our diets? If we watch Boom Boom, sure, we all want curry. If we want Gavv, we want some dessert or treats. Is there going to be like a salad sentai?
maybe, hopefully. I
Well-
think I need a veggie sentai soon.
Well,
Veggie sentai, Green Goddess Ranger.
did Guy make you eat fruit?
Honestly, no, but smoothies were nice.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, Guy, while it had the fruit theme, most of the time it was eating the forbidden fruit of the forest.
I can honestly say, though, I did not have a desire to eat durian after learning more about how the smell was.
Because it's Mr. Dangerous.
But
No.
so we first start with episode 17. We've got
We first started with episode 17. Amazing. Hey.
Technically, we first started with episode 1.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't one of those things where you can just jump right in.
No.
depends who you ask. But we started today
In bed.
with well, technically no, she started the day out on the couch.
Yeah, I actually fell asleep on the couch all night.
Oh, it's tough when couples quarrel.
Oh my god!
But
It's a sleeping pill issue.
episode 17 features the first appearance of you see it's wrong. Now we need to have the camera underneath, and then we could do like
Oh, yeah. Kind of a variant of that 70s show.
of high anxiety.
Oh, okay. Oh, God. That scene cracked me up.
But we have the brother
Yeliv.
Nyeliv giving a driver to our mystery dude and saying, "Don't tell my brother, I'm giving you this."
Lag 9.
And then
Or is it Rag 9? This whole pronunciation thing really gets me.
and then we have our monster who
It's for the birds. But likes to scarf people down.
She likes some sweet.
she's a scarving artist.
Well, okay. Not to get too far into this in the climate, but there's quite the dissonance of the lovely lady needing help with her scarf and the deep voice
No shit! I was thinking the same
of
thing.
the dark confections addict.
Well, actually, hopefully this mic is working. Did anyone check? We could have been talking this whole time without it working.
Yeah.
Well, there's...
Yes, it's working.
Okay, cool.
Although I can't help but notice it's pointed at you two. I'm out here on the fringes. There we go. Hello, in TV land. Besides,
Yeah, we need Culver to go choose us.
Oh, Thea Games.
I think games.
Perfect. We were actually just talking about you because last week, I don't know if you saw it, you won a magazine for us to ship you, but we need your shipping address, so email it to kaijunokami@gmail.com. And when we come back from Florida, we'll ship it out to you.
That's if they're still sane. I mean, this is Florida, where I think the heat bakes the brains
But-
of its residents.
Anyway, yes, so we get an introduction to our new rider who
Oh, God, that
his transformation sequence looks like what?
Looks like he's big.
I'm sorry, that's far too... I understand it's a pudding, and it's trying to fill the cup, but really, it feels like you're filling the cup at the doctor's office.
Especially because it's coming out of his abdomen.
which looks a little lower. When he's wearing all black, it's really hard to place the anatomy. I appreciated the double henshin first to his natural state, and then putting on the drive, and then making the transformation, and attacking the riders with his tendril abilities. So,
Ooh,
I like that
tendril.
I like that he's got spoons for his antenna.
It looked like headphones. I kept on saying.
yes, it was a fun design.
Except for the ping. I know that's not what it was, but that's what it looked like.
It looked like. But I just found it funny. When I first saw him, I thought that was candy corn lining his
Hey,
vest.
if it was candy corn, that would be the awesomest costume ever.
Except, well, okay, I may be out of touch on this.
You out of touch?
Out of time. But do people really like candy corn?
Yes.
I've never been a big fan. I don't
I
know
love
anyone
candy
who's
corn.
been a big fan until now.
I get candy corn, black licorice, and the little candy hearts for Valentine's Day.
Oh, okay, that explains it. You're insane.
It's true, but yes.
Oh, so if I got you just like some chalk and wrote some funny letters on it, like "Please don't sue me."
I will not eat chalk. That's disgusting.
If you like those little hearts, oh great, that'd be great. A gun form based on candy hearts, and every time the enemy strikes him, they just get chalk in their face. It's like, I can't see what kind of power is
There
this?
is nothing wrong with candy corn or the Valentine's sweethearts.
Except that it gives me an opening to mock. What?
I
Nope,
also like black licorice.
well, Charlie Chaplin would have been friends with you. Actually,
No, he wouldn't. I'm too old.
Yeah.
there is that. But I really want to make it clear that I'm putting a heart out there, not
A
any.
Nazi salute.
Yeah, definitely nothing that could be misconstrued.
Okay.
Everyone's a bit more afraid of when they do a height chart now.
Don't do a height chart.
I'm going off screen, so I'm the Mona Lisa.
Okay, back to the show at hand.
And
So we are in episode 17,
yes,
where we've been discussing already, as we get the introduction of Ram.
Bram. Okay, how many names can one guy have in a series?
Lag9, Lakya, and Ram.
Rakia or Lakia?
Lakya.
The subtitles we watched changed between episodes.
Yeah, episode 21 changed to
I'm
Rakia.
going with Lakya.
But either which way, a person is loved when they have multiple names. So I'm assuming this guy's already a fan favorite.
Does this mean soon he'll be
Well, he is pretty tall.
will he soon be the Grunute formerly known as Rakia?
Oh boy, then we're getting into uncharted territory. Thing was, I mean, he took Gavv's finisher sword and used it as a surfboard. But there's this one moment of the fight where he power slides across asphalt and comes up into a squat. And I'm like, your shins should be ground beef. by now.
There is a level where you are too old for a show. When you watch somebody do a slide and go down on their knees on the slide, and you're like, yeah,
I could do it if I got some of that ligament gel.
maybe if I was like 15, 20 years younger, I would do that, but
I'd be the pudding rider. I like pudding.
I just am like, okay. All the people who have arthritis, please raise your hands, because my arthritis that I take pills for daily is like, you will never do that ever again.
But his armor isn't even scuffed, so I'm thinking green screen.
Well, I would.
I'm thinking they had pads on the street.
I'm thinking the street was foam.
Yes.
Well, yeah.
They dug up all the asphalt, replaced it with foam. It's now the bounciest parking area. You You don't really go to your car. You just sort of trampoline the way there.
Well, it's like, dude,
Mm.
you're old.
Now I'm thinking of Zenkaiger.
Oh God!
When he would slam his fist down, you saw the minions going like.
Oh, yes.
That's how you do it. You get your car going.
Ooh, can we have we have a professional bouncer, but it's not what you think.
But I will say the battle between Vrum, Valen, and
Gavv.
was actually really well done.
Yes.
Just if we get another. Ooh, if the girl of the group.
Sachika.
If she gets to become some sort of Valentine. Oh wait, no, Val already has the Valentine.
Yeah,
but
Valen
she needs a V name, so we can have a 3V.
Oh my God, it could be like Husband Hotel.
Or V3, if you will. There we go.
I quit.
Anyway, great fight. I do appreciate that they were... Well, okay. Japan needs to work on their descriptors. You're such a sweet and good child. Such a sweet and good child. Such a sweet and good child. Oh my God, are you producing drones?
Well, were you considered a sweet and good child?
I was considered an experience.
Wow.
That is how my brother has actually described me.
I was described as the kid who never shut up.
Sounds about right.
And who would talk to any stranger in existence.
But
I never met a stranger.
Well, strangers is a friend you haven't met. Don't believe that, kids. Do not talk to strangers.
Yes, please don't live my belief.
Talk to strangers.
I talked to a lot of strangers in my life. I am actually surprised I was never kidnapped sometimes.
Probably because you talk too much. Like, oh God, she's not worth the trouble.
Probably.
But it was a good introductory fight. Actually, I'm very impressed that the fear and concern for the abducted humans carried us all the way to episode 21.
Mm-hmm.
It was a really good arc. Well, I liked how they realized that the Sachika's going to be attacked, and he gets her away. And when what's his name, Hanto's like, "What were you doing?" Well, because I didn't want to get Sachiko involved. And he's like, "Oh yeah, that kind of makes sense."
But I'm waiting for Sachiko in the opening credits to get some sort of form in that globe next to her head, like the others.
And so then our next episode was part 2 of the bird.
The bird. Give him the bird.
Give me the bird, bird, bird. Bird is the word.
A bird is the word. Oh, wait, sorry, we're doing time ranger.
Once again, we're old kids. Sorry.
And apparently ADHD, the way we're conducting this review. But
should I put a timer on?
We only have X amount of time to talk about this particular episode. But honestly, this is the one I can't quite remember all that well, except for
so this is where the bird had the meltdown about the dark infections.
Oh yes, they're skills of an artist.
And we had Rika, whatever his name was. He is seeing what, and then thinking of his brother for a moment, like, oh crap, yeah, I will never touch that stuff. And then the bird starts blowing everyone away into a trap. So that's where you had, Shoma and Hanto are looking around, and then they start getting blown. And someone's like, wait, we want to get blown in because we'll get knocked right to where he is.
Could you please stop talking about blowing everyone?
Well, I will say that this episode once again reminded me, and I know we've talked about the fact that the dark infections are an allegory for drugs. And it does kind of go back for me on thinking about, especially when we get to the episode with the brother, but when he even says it in this episode in the flashback of like, but I want it. And then having the bird do the same thing. And it makes me remember not necessarily me,
but people you've known.
People I've known, including my mom, where it was almost like a must, not necessarily just a coat, but it's so ingrained into your blood that it's there. And I will say it is a little terrifying, and it makes me wonder culturally for Japan if maybe there's a big drug issue, because I know we talk about here out west in the US alone, not going to go on the whole political thing, but the issue with the fentanyl. And it makes me wonder if they're trying to talk about it in some way, not like Dare, because Dare failed in many ways, but to talk about to help kids recognize the problem with it.
I don't know what you talking about. Dare did me good.
Okay,
Dare
it failed me.
Dare worked for me because Dare taught me if I bought drugs, I wouldn't be able to buy the other stuff I buy.
There is that anime saying cocaine would have been cheaper, but really, it was the first hint of the real motivation.
Yes, it's not necessarily you're doing it for the kick.
Yep,
because that's how you pay for your kick.
Oh, can I just say, over this multiple episode story, I really do feel bad for Cake King's familiar minions because first they're crushed by giant pudding. Then the other one is just making a delivery to I don't know where, but they're like, ah! And I just feel like there's no hazard pay. There's no fight.
Oh, yes, that's because they were taking the suitcases of the people out
on their lances. So these guys, they might need to unionize. That'll be great.
Please do not stick the union card on Gavv's sentries.
Oh, great. I'll be like the really annoying decade.
The only problem is they can't have their cake and you get two.
Union. Yeah.
Because they are the cake.
That's a cut above.
But
they just can't slice it.
This episode, I will say, was impactful for many ways. But
I
understand why you don't remember it as much, because honestly, it was a continuation of the prior episode, and it didn't really give.
It bridged into the next part. Though I will compliment Gavv's fighting style. That moment where he's using the potato chip swords, breaks the hilt, and with his foot holds it against the wall so it'll impale the guy on reforming.
Yeah, I like that a lot. And then when he was using like the chips being broken against his wind.
Yep. And so a good fight overall. And well, even when he says, I gotta say that either give up the dark confections or I'll kill you, essentially.
Mm-hmm. Well, break your face.
I'll make you eat your teeth or whatever. But then I'm like, no one has heard of lying? Oh, sure, I'll give it up. But just,
That's what that guy did the last time, remember?
It's been a while.
So we had the last story where the one villain met him in the tunnel.
No, he met Hanto in the tunnel. That's how he kidnapped
and he said, though, I'll give it up. And then he knocked out Hanto and took him to the base.
Mm. Well, this guy, say what you will, but this bird enemy was honest to a fault. And seeing the red flare up in Gavv's cake form, then you leave me no choice. Like, Omoya Shinde.
But
also, please welcome Ren.
Yes, Ren is here if you can see him. He is our mascot. Especially because he is named after the best Kamen Rider character ever!
Oja? He's not named after Oja.
He is not named after Oja. He's named after Naito.
I know. But anyway, so then we come into, let's see, episode 8. Because not 8, 19.
I was going to say, if you say 18, I think we need to have additional conversations there.
Brain fart. 19, because we have, Shoma has learned that kid, what is it, Takeshi or something?
Yeah, Takeshi.
Let's call him MacGuffin.
He was not actually in the people he freed from the bird dude.
He was not part of the Soylent Green.
And he is trying to figure out how to help bring what's his name?
Ram?
Vram to their side. Vram is doing his own little story.
Wait, I feel like that's jumping a little too far ahead. First, we have them bringing Valen to his surgery.
Well, yes. He brings them to
But I
Suga.
thought that was episode 19 where he gets injured.
We're talking about episode
Yeah.
19.
No, but I thought that was the
18,
end of 19.
18 is where
Oh,
he gets injured.
Okay, he gets injured at the end of 18.
Oh my god, I am so confused.
And basically,
Downside of when you binge 5 episodes in a row.
so at the end of episode 18 is where Gavv beats Birdie
Yes.
and Valen gets his ass kicked in costume first. Then Vram was going to
that's right.
kill
Okay.
him. And
So
when Gavv got back, or Shoma got back, he transformed, grabbed Valen, and
yes, because
disappeared.
the familiar appeared.
The chocolate.
Because in episode 18, the one thing we forgot to mention, which is important when we're going to episode 19, is that Nielev and Lag9, that's his code name, they both go to Suga's base. And you find out they're not allies. Like, he actually Suga low-key insults Nielev
By
saying, well, I don't think of you as a granute, I think of you as a fellow scientist. And we also learn he understands the meaning of personal space, but he doesn't understand how to commit to it, because he even walks up to Ram, or Lag9 at that moment, in human form, and he is like, I know personal space, but excuse me, and lifts up his shirt to pull out the little key from his stomach, watch him transform, and then put the key back so he transforms back into human. And I was like, dude, you are kind of like how I would be as a person as well, because I have no boundaries. But at the same time, don't say I know personal space at all and defy it simultaneously. At least ask.
Well, and
because
then
you're Japanese, dude.
Yeah, so then the 19th episode has Shoma bringing
Him to
Hanto
Suga.
back to Suga. Suga pulls a hair off of him.
Well, on his shirt. So it was already a loose hair. So it's kind of like for policemen, if it's already in existence, it's not like you're
plucking it off a person's head.
Exactly.
I'd be immune to that. But we also learn that our heroes are really bad at keeping secrets.
I was gonna say! Oh my God. Basically, Suga looks at him and he's like, yeah, you're Kamen Rider Gavv, right? He's like, oh, yeah, no!
And wait, I know you. Oh, you're the guy who wanted to study me. Yeah, you don't know personal space.
Well, especially because of the fact that oh, yeah. Okay, well, we're already in the next episode anyways. I actually put a timer on for the last episode.
Oh, God. Well, what else is there? Oh, yes, this is the climactic clash between Gavv and
Vram.
Vram.
Because this is when he gets the backstory about Vram's brother who
Komel
got addicted to dark confectionaries and was stealing money from them that he was working a job for, ran off for a year, and then came back and died.
What?
Well, no, he came back and died because he found out that what he was
Dark
thinking,
confections are people!
well, technically, yes. It's just like rhubarb. But he found out, and he probably, as they identified in the future episode, that maybe he found out and he was just in over his head. Because unfortunately, when you do get into terrible things, I'm just going to keep it very simple, you do put yourself sadly at risk of being in a very dangerous situation or having terrible things happen. So my soapbox moment will be don't do things that will harm your body. And if you do take anything pill-wise or anything, make sure it's been prescribed by a doctor and you know what it's doing.
Thank you for coming to our TED Talk.
Exactly. Or you can be like me and have to take 10 pills a day because you were stupid.
But before we cover, well, okay, we kind of already gone over the history with the brother. Before we learned this, did you have any theories on his motives and ideas?
I thought it was going to be that he was an undercover cop working for a government trying to shut down the factory.
I was thinking the same thing.
Honestly, I wasn't sure. I thought the whole maybe corporate espionage thing, but the way he kind of before tossed away the dark confection when he got it, and the way he was so uncaring when he was doing his auto presses for people, I kind of was like, I really don't know. But I will say his motive, knowing it, is more impactful than I think for a lot of other Kamen Rider series that I've seen, where it was just a random betrayal, or you betrayed my family or something.
Ooh, you dirty rat! You betrayed my
something
brother.
Like this, where it actually has a message of the bad thing, that I actually like this plot because it makes it seem like, okay, he has a true.
So it also makes me question, because the way the series started out, it seemed like the Granuts were all under the control of the Stomach family, that they were like their kingdom.
Yes.
But now it seems like they're just a part of an entire civilization.
They are the corrupt company in the Granuts.
So it's like, okay, so are we actually going to get to meet good Granuts?
Which we have.
Well, technically, I mean,
he's morally gray.
Morally gray. We get into this in I think episode 20. So, but as they infiltrate, okay, the sheer technological level of Japanese bathrooms is staggering.
Oh, you should.
Their technology in that alone shows that if they could apply that to military science, we would be powerless before.
You should see the underground casino and coliseum they have below the homeless camp in
That's
Yakuza.
in Yakuza world.
You go into a bathroom.
Okay, hubby, this is a real toilet, not a fictional game toilet.
Yes, okay. I'm flush with impressions.
I just don't know how the hell you would wipe.
Well, they did have a roll of toilet paper I saw.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's probably for gaijin.
Well, yes, I would imagine so. But
a commode, it just gives you a little squirt.
Okay, to me, that's a bidet. And so...
What's today?
Bidet.
Okay, the amazing thing I will say for guys, that as a woman is incredibly nice, especially if you have a shared household, is that at least the toilet can put down the seat itself rather than the woman having to do it because the dude forgets.
I can't help but feel she's talking to him.
Oh, yeah. He's learned. You, on the other hand.
I just
Besides, well, how hard is it for you to just put the seat down? If I have to work to put the seat up, you should be able to work to put the seat down.
I have to touch the toilet seat.
I'm not peeing or pooping on the toilet seat.
I know.
Anyway, the audience is probably like, "What the heck?"
Okay, well, the toilet, the thing that women sit on, or dudes sit on the shit, goes automatically up in the men's room when the door is open.
They did it twice.
Yes, and I don't know. I almost was like, are you doing this to troll American audiences right now? Because apparently these guys are like, oh my God, that's amazing. And I'm like,
they're light years ahead of us.
At least they can put the toilet seat up and show that it goes down at the same time.
Now, you see, I would program the toilet to talk and have if it could sense.
No. We watched a Better Call Saul episode with them making a toilet talk, and it sounded really inappropriate.
There's a good boy. That was a big one.
Yes, it sounded very bad.
I'm just saying, if it
No talking from a toilet seat.
if it detected a lady, I'd have it say, "Oh, crankiness levels elevated, lowering seat."
All I would say is, if a toilet seat talked to me, that's where I would get a mallet and start destroying the thing.
Before we continue with episode 20, let's.
Did we continue with episode?
That was the toilet one.
Where's the toilet?
Oh, that's the most important part of the episode.
No, before we continue episode 20.
Wow.
Before we get back into Monsters Inc.
I was gonna say, wow, is that the most important part of episode?
Yes, because now I want to know the brand of that toilet and install it in my home.
No, I think you should get the brand of the toilet.
All right,
installed
let's see.
in my home.
But yes, Thea Games, you did win something. I've just been in the Boomer chats, been taking people
Other chats too.
who have been participating, and randomly we've been picking one person from that chat to get a magazine. And Jake Schuster,
and you can show a copy of the magazine. It's on the chair next to you.
I mailed out your magazine yesterday, so be on the lookout for that. Yes, it's these magazines. We picked a bunch up at Power Morphicon to give away.
They're toy magazines, but they also have like comics, little arts and craft things. It seems like
this one has some stickers and something else with Ghost.
Ooh.
But yeah, it's I want to say it's called Titterby, something like that. But I could be wrong.
It's a book.
All right. But yes. So email, like I said, Kaiju no Kami.
They did.
Okay, cool. And just so you know, it'll actually be in the news report because I recorded the news report before we did this. So Monday's news report will also say that in there.
So you'll be stopped a little bit. My apologies.
All right, then we have Mike Silva, Creator 1, status report, Creator 2, minor damage, Creator 1, what now? Creator 2, food. This little brat called Pop Culture Therapy.
Your wife?
Oh, yeah.
Not my wife. That's why I don't have to put up the toilet seat.
All right. So Jake Schuster says that he was probably wearing hockey pads doing the slide.
I think you need more than hockey pads for that one.
I think he would need like bone grappers so they can make sure nothing breaks.
Box Night is here, so hello you too.
How are your bone spurs? I don't have bone spurs. You do now.
Jake Schuster says it's the icing on the cake.
Yeah, well done.
The game Silver Quill. Here's something that might remember the episode. The actor of Q Ranger Orange was the granite human form.
Wait, what?
Oh!
The scorpion. Stinger, yeah.
For whom?
But it can't be the female with the scarf.
No, maybe somebody else.
Let's. Oh, and yes, they're called Televikun, the magazines.
Oh, thank you.
I now wonder what past Ranger actor will become a granite human form next. Toilet low. Hello from Kamen Rider 64.
Hi.
Hello.
And then Jake said thank you for telling him that it was shipped out.
All right, but okay. Once we get past the sheer technical marvel that is the Japanese toilet, and I will revisit this in the future, I'm sure.
Okay, so
let's it go to
Shoma
waste.
ends up using his ability to travel into the dimension,
which I loved. Lakia's response to that of seriously.
Well, he says a lot of things suck. The only thing that really gets him passionate is the memory of his betrayed brother.
Well, and then they go. I like when they're going through the doors and they end up in an office, and the office people are just like, "What just happened?"
Well, this is Japan. Okay, back to work.
Actually, it made me think of the hotel in the Doctor Who Christmas special. Because they're in a hotel that has doorways to all different time periods.
Oh, speaking of, we got the multi-parter with David Tennant that we'll have to watch with you.
Which multi-parter with David?
The last multi-parter
The
when he
specials.
came back as the 15th
Ah,
Doctor.
oh yes.
14.
14th, yes.
But-
Lieutenant!
But I love then when they go finally find the actual Granite World. They're in the factory, and then Shoma starts having memories of
Being taken for surgery
taken for surgery,
by Hanto's mom.
being found by Hanto's mom when he was looking for his
Mhm.
mom, and then the factory being where she was killed and he ran away from. And we get a really kick-ass fight with Galacta.
Very kick-ass fight. Honestly, our pudding Kamen Rider, his honeymoon period was rather short-lived.
Yeah, I was in a way I was kind of happy about that because there's sometimes where the new person gets such a long honeymoon period that you're like, really?
I also think though it did a good job of showing how much of a threat Glota is, because
Is it Glota or Glata? I saw it was Glotta.
whatever.
Admit it, you just want that scythe.
That scythe is awesome too. But
Well, she doesn't have it anymore.
Well,
It's now just a stick.
then I want that stick.
is it the stick of truth? Is it her big stick policy?
Yes.
But that fight was pretty cool. But it was weird though when they transport into some rap concert.
Okay. No, that was not a rap
No,
concert.
no.
That music was way too mellow.
That was okay. Don't get me wrong. The singers had tone. They knew how to sing. But for people going like this the entire time,
Well,
I was like, there is no beats.
I was gonna say, where was all the bass or the music or anything? Because it just sounded like, okay, grab your balls, yeah, cha cha.
that wasn't even
yeah.
rap. Okay, I've listened to
So,
rap, but
It's like, we're basic. This is basic.
oh my
basic.
god, I was
So,
like,
I was like, thank God for the intrusion, because at least then we had some excitement.
well, yeah, I was like, that was the worst rave ever. And I've been to tons.
And yet everyone just sort of stood and went, okay, these episodes have really captured modern reactions, because instead of running away in terror, as their forebearers would have, they get their inner New Yorker on and just start recording the events without getting involved.
Well, I loved how when in the midst of this, right around this time, we have Hanto waking up with a jolt. And I'm sorry, if you have your stomach wrapped up, and I know this from multiple surgeries, the moment you jolt up, you're like, ah!
Well, remember,
that hurts like that.
but it was established that both Hanto and Shoma have fast healing because of their abilities.
Yes.
So
and an inability to keep a secret.
Well, yes, because then you have Suga, because he asked, how did I get here? And Suga's like, oh, your friend Kamen Rider Gavv brought you.
Shota?
And he's like, Shoma. And he's like,
oh, that's his name.
Oh, that's right, Shoma. Sorry.
And yeah, when Suga is like, oh, that's his name. And I'm like, oh my God. For being an investigative reporter.
Now, granted, if you just woke up from a severe ass whooping, I would give a little leeway. But he's Shoma, and you just tell her.
But, and then, so he goes and runs, and then we have our fight.
Well, no, he first says, because he gets a notification on his phone, he's like, wait, Shoma and Vram are fighting together?
At first he's like, why would he's fighting for?
Oh, yeah, 4 against
because he
1.
thought that it was Shoma, Grota, the two goons, and Vram.
Yes, man. I know.
And then when he gets there, he finds that Vram and Gavv are working together, and
it was like he's cheated on.
Gavv does this like super long running attack.
Oh yes, the line of candles. But we're neglecting Vram's new form with
the strawberry pudding.
The strawberry pudding that stops your heart when you use its ability.
I was like, dude, no.
And he does it twice.
4 times.
Well, yeah, but twice in short order.
Once, twice, 4 times a lady.
But all I'm thinking of is Code Geass and Roro. And it's like, why are you doing that?
Well, and then you make the funniest comment when Gavv is about to do his attack against Glota, because he looks like he's about to start stretching for leg day.
Yeah, I mean, he was just doing kind of this yoga pose.
For like calisthenics.
Well, and he ends up destroying her blade on her scythe. And she's just like, oh, very good for being the runt of the family. And everyone's like, what?
So you have one person, Vram, on this side looking at him because he's like, he hates the stomach family. And then you have Hanto looking on, he's like, wait, what? And then we're getting to the point where it's like near the end of the episode, and I look at my loving husband here and I'm like, we have another episode, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
If this was the last episode, I'm gonna punch somebody or something.
And Hanto then punches
Yeah.
Shoma.
Clench those teeth. Does that actually help?
I don't honestly, I can say positively, I have not been punched in the face, so I don't know.
Okay, well, for science, I think we should experiment with this. Not it.
On kaiju.
Yeah, he's the only one who didn't contribute. So clench those teeth.
Nope.
Come on, this will be count as actual human contact.
Oh, and make sure
Nope.
about your thumb because you have to be careful not to break it.
Oh, you're right. I'll just use the.
Oh my god, shit all over me.
You?
That's not really what a punch is
Well,
supposed
it's
to.
ice cream. I'm just saying, can I get your water bottle thing?
Why don't you use your water bottle?
Because it'll be a mess. Just
Well-
hand me that one. No, that one. Thank you.
I didn't even know it was
Now-
still.
I will say, if we're moving into episode 21, I appreciate the intelligence of the writers because both Ram and Valen are both processing this. Hey, you just helped me infiltrate the stomach headquarters. Of course, I'm going to believe you're their enemy. And let's think about this logically. I've seen him fight them. I've seen them
Fight him.
hit him. I've seen him take one of them out. So logically speaking, I should probably just ask him directly. And I'm like, thank you. You guys are far smarter than a certain Blade character who shall go unnamed.
Tachibana?
I mean, that nitwit. Never,
You are still bitter about Baron.
not Baron.
Garen.
Garen.
Well, it's sad that I know him by his normal civilian name because they wouldn't stop saying it every damn time he
No.
walked in the room.
Actually,
I can't feel my legs now.
Kamen Rider 5 was worse. Most of the problems in Kamen Rider 5 could have been solved if they had actually just communicated with each other.
If you just used your fucking words.
So I was glad to see this level of intelligence. I will bid it a fond farewell because we're in America and intelligence is not in right now.
But then in this episode, I'm just going to kind of zip around to the middle real quick. Because after we have this logic, we have Shoma who's super depressed because he doesn't know that the other two are logically thinking about it and like, maybe this is where we have to communicate. So Shoma is super depressed because he's eating all these sweets and guess what's not happening?
Yeah, I loved how his familiars are there like questioning like, why is there nothing coming out?
And I like how one like almost shrugs in a way and you see this little question mark for the chips. And so he's walking around because he's depressed.
Well, first he's trying to tell Sachika that what he is, and he just can't do it.
Because he remembers how
Everyone else
Hanto
reacted.
was. And so he's walking around and he just passes out. And then we have Hanto saying, I'm going to go look for him. And it turns out he goes to look for him and we get
Shoma just walks by wearing a black outfit.
Ryoma. No, Ryoma is the name of the evil Shinji from Ryuki.
No, it's Ryuga.
Ryuga, sorry.
Okay,
Ryoma.
I was wondering if we had Evangelion.
No, I meant
In which case, I will
Ryuga.
run away.
not Yeah, thank you, hubby.
But I actually said, this is too clean and happy a conclusion. What's about to go wrong? Oh, hi, dark counterpart. It's like Whis from Geo.
Or you could think of it in Yu-Gi-Oh terms with Bakura. You have Yami Bakura.
Well, there's Yami Bakura, there's Zork, there's because he was possessed by 3 different entities.
Well, I'm just thinking that he went from nice, sweet Bakura to Yami Bakura. That's all. And Ren is like,
well, Yami Bakura was Zork and the Thief combined.
Just wait until season 5, where there's 3 of me running around. Even the fans have trouble keeping up with that one.
But we get what we find out at the end of the episode. His name is Bitter Shoma. So Bitter Shoma comes by this ramen cart, which was Don Brother free.
I know. It's like, stay open. The Don Brothers will be there soon. We might see.
No, you said the Cerebrums, which was more.
Well, yeah, you cut me off before I could say that. The Cerebrums, for the blue Cerebrum, you must live.
But then,
Bitter
Bitter Shoma starts just devouring everything and knocks the owner out. And he's like, "Yeah, this isn't satisfying." He goes and apparently has spent the entire night attacking businesses,
restaurants,
and then we have, in his brilliance, Hanto reveals to Sachika that Shoma is a Granut.
But honestly, that is logical if he feels like the mask is off now.
But he leaves Sachika like, okay, I'm sorry. Just so you know, you only have 24 hours to live. And then run away!
Oh, wait, is this how we're initiating contact now? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, I just meant it was like, I'm going to tell you terrible news. And then he's not touching you.
I'm just petting Ren. Hello, Ren. Of course, you folks can't see this. It's quite soothing. Just
but nevertheless,
oh,
the cat's like, I'm not being a part of this.
Oh, yes.
But
he want the
so
paparazzi.
he tells Sachika terrible news and is like, and my job is done.
Now,
I need to go.
I'm just thinking of Robin Hood Men in Tights. I don't want to know any bad news. Tell me in a good way. Well, why are you laughing? That's terrible news.
But I'm just like, so we're going to tell her your friend is actually a monster. But we're not going to see if you're okay. We're just going to be like, out, bye. I need to figure out what's going on.
Well, honestly, I feel like he has to go and defend the public. He's the only one who can at this moment. So I feel like that's actually pretty rational. But just, she's probably at the door like, okay, what? I mean, there's got to be a denial stage in this grief.
Well, we're not going to go through all of them because he left her.
But at this point, I'm wondering if Sachika will become addicted to a dark confection herself, because there's got to be some way we can get her in on this writer gig.
Well, and oh my God, we're gonna make her part of the Donner family.
Well, technically, the dark confections, I don't know what they're spiced with human emotions, but
I'm just gonna still go with the whole Donner party thing.
Okay, because the Donner party wasn't necessarily a family.
Well, the Donner family was with the party,
and one of them went on to open a restaurant.
Yeah, which is quite terrifying because.
Wait, you mean that's not a joke?
No, that's not a joke. That's a historical fact.
It's a historical fact. And quite a few of the people who had to imbibe on rhubarb then went on to live normal lives.
But we come to where Spicy Gavv is stomping on an old woman, and a guy does just have his phone out.
No shit.
And I'm like, okay, true fact of life. I got porch pirated this week, and my neighbor across the way saw it happen, said something to the guy. I'm glad he didn't try to initiate conflict, because you never know if someone is carrying a weapon. But there's a difference before keeping back because you don't know the situation, and let me put this on TikTok.
Oh, no. But
at the same time, if this dude is tearing up restaurants,
well,
you
he
don't
doesn't know about the tearing up other
All
places.
well,
yeah, because it was all over the.
Oh yes.
well, Hansa basically just does a running tackle to get him off the lady and tell her to run away.
But I love this lady took punches, was thrown out of the restaurant, curb stomped several times, and she still just gets up and runs away.
Well, she probably was saying, "Oh, she thinks that was a curb stomping little bitch."
Back in my day.
Oh, you think I would have crushed him with my thumb back in the day.
But and while they're fighting, you find out that his version of the
Rubber candy armor.
of the candy armor, which is the gummies, is actually, I almost think of like the cinnamon gummies because of how dark it is.
Mm-hmm.
And which he loved, like the cinnamon candies.
Well, I like though when he goes to transform and he starts drowning in the pop bottle that's there.
I was like, wait, I thought that was spicy, not a cola. But yeah.
But it basically, it's like he's not fully formed because his arm keeps on.
Well, I
getting
like
distorted.
how he was like this when he transformed, like.
And then after he blocks the first blow, and he's like, okay, that's broken in several places. Okay, he's fine.
But I do like the fact that in the midst of all this, we have Lakia lying back trying to figure out, well, how the hell am I supposed to do this job like what Shoma does? And then he thinks he's like, because his phone got cut off. Because, you know, if you're not working for the company anymore, they're not going to give you any cell service. And so he's like, how do I do this? And then he remembers first meeting Shoma, and he's like, does that mean I have to do leg work? And I was waiting for him to say it sucks, because truthfully, leg work sucks. But he's like, okay, I guess I'll try this out. And just so happens, his adventures in the legwork sees him coming up to Valen and Bitter Betty. And then we have, he is like, what the hell's going on here? And so you see him transform.
Well, I love the fact that he just goes, he doesn't even question, he just immediately goes and attacks Bitter Gavv.
Well, what I thought was interesting is when he goes to shoot the arrow, and you're like, is he going to hit Valen because he's attacking Gavv, or vice versa? And he hits Bitter Betty.
Well, he also said, oh, so it's like that, or soka.
Yeah.
So he knows something that the rest of us don't.
Yeah.
But I also appreciate, he's like, oh, so if you go for a walk, you'll find what you need. It's like, only in tokusatsu!
I know your like argument there is like, this doesn't work in real life, kid.
No, for some reason, in the entirety of Tokyo, this massive metropolitan with the most advanced toilets in the world.
Oh my God, your frustration. Oh yeah, Red Hots. Thank you.
Somehow you can find anyone by walking 3 blocks.
Well, don't you know? The Toku world of Kamen Rider Sentai is a 4-block radius.
And I'm pretty sure at one corner of each block is a gravel pit, a refinery.
And
long,
like,
the gravel
pit
is the center. The gravel pit's the center. The warehouse district is on this side. You've got the park right here.
What about the building that has that outside like hallway?
Well, that would be right there. And then this is the residential area. And so no matter which direction you walk, you're going to walk into a monster attack.
It does seem that way.
But
Okay, but now I've got to look at the prices of the damn Japanese toilets.
Oh my God. I am terrified that next time I come over your place, you're going to have a plumber there.
The other sequence, though, that happened in the episode, Glota tells her brothers about Vram being their employee, and we have Nelev just start freaking out like, oh shit.
Now, just so you know, I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right. I just am saying letters.
Well, I know it's N. It's like a freaking Lovecraft name.
Yes. No, it sounds like one of the dark ones. But
well, here we go. Smart Japanese toilet, $424.99.
American or
American? It's on Amazon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let's order this. Get that porch part that wants to try it and take this. I'm pretty sure the toilet will kill it. You are not my registered owner. Beginning shock.
Now, Rom, I do like when he tells Glota in the last episode, and you find out here in this episode, when he's like, yeah, you killed my brother, Komel. And she's like, a normal. It made me think of Breaking Bad with Gus Fring. Where he's like, you killed my brother. And it'd be like, Gus, like, who?
I was thinking more.
Batman Beyond?
Yeah. Do you have any idea how little that narrows it down?
Oh, that actually
Yeah, you killed my father.
Who? When?
I killed him.
Can you give me some clues here?
Whoa, jinx.
Boys.
I'm also thinking of the Street Fighter cartoon where M. Bison says, you people and your fathers. I killed my father too, and I didn't have any.
That was, I think, was it the movie?
Nope, cartoon.
Because I know in the movie, he says to Chun-Li, when Chun-Li says, you killed my father, he says, for you, that was the day I killed your father. For me, it was Tuesday.
Nope, this is for the cartoon that got formed after the movie.
All right.
I'll be back, everybody.
So we've got Stomach Ink door. Dimension makes sense. I think of the door from Don Brothers. Kamen Rider 64 said there's a rumor that Jonathan Majors is coming back to the MCU. I don't care about that. Actually, I do have a comment about the MCU in a moment with these Kamen Rider episodes. Ram's also going to be unable to keep a secret as well when he meets Sachika and the other humans in the future.
I did appreciate that he said, I've got no connect. I didn't even know humans were a thing until last week.
That's why I want to see what the actual entire world for the Granuts is like. Because if they don't even know humans exist, then that also means that they're their own civilization. Like, what's a human? I can already think about where the bitter Shoma came from based on who got a hair off Shoma in episode 20. Yeah, that's what we're figuring, is that he's the clone from the scientist guy.
See, I'm more thinking that he is some sort of manifestation of Shoma's negative feelings and angst. So we'll find out. Hang on. We haven't seen the episode there today.
No, that's technically 20.
I'll find out tomorrow. Yeah, I'm leaving you behind. Oh, he's trying to punch me.
That's okay. We're finishing Boom Boonger, and you're like 25 episodes behind.
Yeah, you know what? I might have to do the Boom Boonger first before I get to the Kamen Rider. Boom, boom.
Cherry Fluff Belly. Sorry, I'm late. It's cool. Hello.
Good to see you, Cherry.
Yeah, Jake Schuster said Red Hots for Bitter Gavv.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like Bitter Gavv's Transformers, especially the bite gummy part.
Mm-hmm. I like the more angular armor.
Yes, I know Street Fighter of the animated series is coming to Blu-ray. It's actually funny. Discotech said when they announced they're bringing that Street Fighter cartoon to Blu-ray, they're recreating the meme video that's out there with the high-def version.
Yes. Oh, where it goes, yes.
Oh, it's the full meme video. They're taking the entire meme video and upgrading the video quality, so it is going to be in HD.
Yeah.
But yeah, so have the yes.
Funny what becomes a meme.
But I wanted Krillika here when I did this part, but
well, we can let's see. At the end, it's a cliffhanger as we try to figure everything out. But from the trailer, it looks like we're going to have the resolution.
Well, yeah, because I realized this is part one of the two-parter, so the next one, part two. Now I'm thinking Bitter Gavv's going to be defeated, but his
Dark Driver,
I guess, whatever. Driver is going to be left behind, and the brother is going to get it.
The last remaining twin.
Yeah, the living twin.
Oh, yes, we did. Because we usually skip the intros during a binge watch, we got to see the modified intro where one of the Stomach family, gets the Marvel snap treatment because they're just poof. And as this, who amongst the family do you think is going to bite the big one next?
I don't know. I do think Nelef is going to become a good guy because I think he's going to end up joining up with Gavv and the great grandfather.
Mm-hmm.
I think I don't know if they'll kill them off until we're at the tail end because I think Longo is going to be him and Glota are going to be here through the entire series consistently.
I don't know. Glota's had 2 big fights to demonstrate her power, and is showing how, whereas she was untouchable before, now she lost her weapon, if only temporarily. So I wouldn't be surprised if she had to bite the big one at Gav's next upgrade.
It's possible, or there'll be another family member that comes in that will bite the big one first.
It's like, oh, Uncle Phil. Hi, I'm just the Phil-er. And now he did. Oh, wait, I invoked Uncle Phil, the Fresh Prince. Oh,
I was thinking of Uncle Fester. He's festering to die first. But, yeah, I think it's going to be that I think those 2 will last to the end. And if nothing else, the younger brother will end up becoming good. If the younger brother becomes a rider, he's going to become good in the end. But I think for sure Nelef is going to be the one definitely most likely to betray them.
Well, there we go. And actually, the potential for more riders is pretty far flung at this point.
But I like how they're spacing them out. They're not just throwing them all.
Yeah, which series would you say threw the most riders at us right away?
Besides Geets, Saber.
Well, Geets was kind of part of the game,
Right? But Saber, because they threw. Oh my god! I think 8 of them were in the first 2 episodes.
You get.
And then what was the other one that had a lot of writers right from the start?
What about Ryuki?
They slowly brought in the writers. Even Hibiki slowly introduced them.
Geo had the first 2 writers pretty much right off the bat, with more coming in too sweet.
And then Gaim brought in 3 of them right away.
Though by the end it had, and it actually was more towards the end where the new writers were coming out of the woodwork. You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay.
I just had to go.
All right, so one thing I have to say that both actually Boombonger and Gavv have shown. How is it that Toei has these low budget shows that are doing action scenes and effects better than high budget Hollywood movies like the MCU?
So that was the comment you were holding there?
Yes.
Well, I would say because the Sentai and Kamen Rider have refined the process as they've gone through.
I'm waiting for it to go.
They know the sort of how long it takes to do this, how long it takes to do that, so they budget out accordingly. MCU is doing reshoots and rewrites and putting the pressure.
No, you're good.
And putting the pressure on the special effects crew to get it done now. And this gross mismanagement of time sabotages the final product.
But the thing is, though, with these shows, they're on a super tight schedule where they have to be done.
But they know what's required of them.
But it's just interesting that we have all these amazingly shot fight sequences on shoestring budgets, and the MCU can't even imitate even the camera work. Like in Gavv, we're always having, even with Boomerger, we're always having cameras moving around, like the drone cameras going on, and it's like the MCU is allergic to that.
Well, they don't want to be accused of being corporate drones.
But that's just my thought on that. It's like we keep watching this. I'm like, I don't get why people will love, like, as much as I like the MCU, except for like the last bit of it.
The more recent phases have been disappointing.
But why is it that people will turn down Kamen Rider and Sentai when they have better sequences? I know the chat's not coming up.
I know.
Than these high budget movies.
Well, because of Power Rangers, they don't understand that Power Rangers was trying to inject a different culture into an existing show, and so there was always a comedic dissonance to it. But when you get the original source material on its own, untainted by Saban alterations, it's a very different beast, and it feels different. I should find Gavv to be utterly ridiculous in that it's a candy-powered superhero. Look, I watch a show with a pink pony that lives off of sugar, and even I know I'm not going to find something too intense from that. But this is hitting way harder than it should.
It's just like Gaim. We all
Yeah.
thought Gaim was going to be a joke because Fruit Samurai, oh god, this is going to be terrible. And like, holy crap, this is so serious. And Gavv is the same way. It's like, it really was like, oh, this is going to be crap with
Well,
candy.
Boom Boonger, I keep on saying all I ever heard was, oh, they're going to tone down the story for Boom Boonger because King Oger was really heavy. And that's all I heard. And I'm like, if this is toning it down to make it more kid-friendly,
Especially the last...
then I want to know what are the biggest differences between the kids in America and the kids in Japan.
I'm not going to go in detail, but yeah, one of the things that we learn about Boomager is one of the plot revolves around child abuse.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, no.
Thank you for that spoiler. Wow. You see, I think more than 25 episodes behind. So I've got something to look forward to. I'm really forward to seeing that child abuse.
No.
okay.
The child abuse is used to motivate one of the characters.
Oh, sure. I'm sure.
No.
Oh, wait, no.
It honestly, when we say it, it's because obviously coming from a kid's perspective of what happened, but how they overcome it. It's like, okay.
As long as they don't overcomplicate it.
No, I just noticed I left like every light.
I know. So one Thea Games had said, since Corellica's not there, this was obviously Silver, can you keep talking about Japanese toilets?
No, thank you.
Oh, well, I still can't. Well, honestly, I don't know enough. I must find out. Because if it could have like a holographic display showing the regularity of your movements.
Okay. If there was a health benefit to it, other than it just lifting up and down the seat, then sure, there would be some value.
Wait.
But isn't that kind of messed up for the toilet just to automatically assume you're going to go and pee and you're not going to go poop?
I'm sure it has some sort of sensor. But here's my thing. If you could take a Japanese toilet and a squatty potty.
By their powers combined, they would be what?
Craptastic.
Free flowing. And I'm free.
Instead of dream on, pee on.
You are a peon.
All right, but yeah, and then Jake said it's because people think that it's supposed to be for little kids.
Oh, for helping potty training. So
No.
Oh, I thought you meant the
for why we can't have action. Why we can't have action sequences as good as Kamen Rider in the MCU.
Okay, I'm sorry. I had to because I was totally lost there for a second. I was like, are we now saying that the Japanese culture built these toilets to help with potty training?
Because I have to say, Gavv has upped the action sequences in Kamen Rider that the MCU, I can't think of any MCU movie that matches the fights of Gavv.
Yes. No, I agree. And Street Fighter animated series, yes, it's coming out to Blu-ray.
Yeah, we're all caught up.
I was going to say that I was going to buy it because I just want it for the extras.
You just want to hear the line about, I killed my father, and they don't hear me complain.
Well, there is something about that, but, and yeah, sorry everybody for having to walk away for a few minutes.
All right, but it is getting very late. It is almost 10 o'clock, so...
And I need you to hand me the pill box.
Hold on. So I think we are going to end that here. Any thoughts? Because we were talking about predictions of what we were thinking would happen.
For the next arc?
For the series. Like, I still think Nalef is going to become good soon.
Or at least try to save his own skin.
Silver Quill thinks Glota's going to be the next family member to bite the dust.
Yes. I just think anytime I see any of the Stomach family, I just think of the song by Queen, Another One Bites the Dust.
Boom, boom, boom.
And no, I won't get the Highlander animated series only because I'm terrified of Highlander 2. That has scared me from watching anything else Highlander. That's one of the comics. I want to get the Highlander animated series. Sorry, Jake. I have terror because I've seen Highlander 2, and he even tells me that the television series was great. And I'm like, I don't know.
I love the TV
Highlander
series.
2 exists. So
The TV series ignored all. They ignored everything from the last 10 minutes of the first movie onward.
But then they made a movie out of the TV series, and
We ignore that. But
I don't know if I can.
yeah, you can.
But yes, and before everybody leaves, I am going to do another contest. Let's see.
Who can point Corelka to the best toilet?
Not Silver Quill. All right. We are going to, let's see, pick a letter. Yeah, as you can see,
you.
it's really hardcore.
You. Yeah, for urinal.
Okay, then the winner, because of that, is Cherry Fluff Belly Official.
Hey, there we go.
All right, Cherry Fluff Belly. Hopefully I think you're still here. Send us an email at kaijunokami@gmail.com with your shipping address. We'll ship you out one of the Televicoon magazines once Krellick and I get back from Florida.
And Jake, I think we need to have a conversation if you like Highlander 2.
What's wrong with liking a Highlander as well?
Highlander 2.
2?
Come on,
The
shop.
second movie.
Well, which version? Because there are 2 versions.
There are
Oh,
two
yeah.
versions.
Yeah, one with aliens and one without aliens.
I kind of wish it was xenomorphs. Like,
Bye, everyone.
But
imagine if a Highlander got infected with a xenomorph. Would it like come out as the quickening? I've given you something to really ponder now.
I only now want to see a My Little Pony version of a xenomorph.
I'm sure they exist.
My little Xeno.
But,
my
all right.
little Xeno. They're called changelings.
Can't wait for a few weeks when we get to watch another batch of Gavv episodes. As always, click like, subscribe, the bell notification, whatever else YouTube have you clicking out to support us. You can support us on Bluesky and Twitter at tokuaannetwork, Facebook, Instagram, Discord at Kaiju no Kami. Website is creativitybydesignllc.com. You can buy cool Kaiju no Kami merchandise at creativitybydesignllc.com/shop. There's a link in the description below. There's also a GoFundMe that could help to keep the channel funded for another 10 years. If you can't donate, at least just share the link out. I'll have that added to the description probably tomorrow. And where else?
You can find me under MLP Silver Quill on DeviantArt, YouTube, Twitter, Bluesky. Anywhere else? Oh, Twitch.tv.
I still have done nothing with my Twitch account since I activated it.
But which Twitch is which?
The Switch. Which
Not-
is a bitch.
Not left in a ditch.
No, that's a witch.
Who's really a bitch?
All right, well,
With that said, until next, we'll see you guys hopefully tomorrow for our Boominger finale live stream.
if
I'll be playing catch up.
Until then, bye.